Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great week. It is going to be the first TTM Tuesday of 2025. The first I've done in a while just because of the holiday madness and whatnot. And this is here because I'm going to try something new. I tried it a little bit in a previous video. It seemed to work, and it seems very easy. So the TTMs is now going to take on a new iteration. So bear with me, and I'll explain it as I go. If this doesn't work out and I'm not able to pull off what I'm explaining to you that I'm doing, this is going to look right terrible. But we are going to begin with the first, and this is going back to mid-December, as you can see, when I was gone, and this is a rough estimate. After a 28-day turnaround, 1 of 1, for free, the card coming from Brandon Jensen. If I did this right, the address should be popping up about here. If not, it's going to be down below anyway, but on the NHL Heroes, a guy that I know and love, Jim Schoenfeld. And again, if I do this right, some stuff about his career should be popping up right there. Hopefully that works out. But Jim Schoenfeld, I've got him before. Great signer. Great player. Still a legend in Buffalo. I believe actually had a, was a mattress. Actually, we're going to put this here so as to balance it out. Was kind of a mattress salesman, or worked for a mattress company here in Buffalo, and is also responsible for the infamous line from Wayne's World, "Hey, Officer Koharski, would you like another donut?" Great incident when he was coaching for New Jersey Devils, I believe was when he was coaching. But Mr. Schoenfeld, thank you so much. Thank you to Brandon for the card. And again, stuff should be there, or has been there. God, I really hope this works. Moving on. Number 2, coming back on the 17th after 28-day turnaround, 2 of 2, for free. The address should be right about there. And we have a pair, shout out to Cash and Dad, of Rufus Porter for the Seahawks on the Pro Bowl and the Pro Line, or the Pro Set Platinum, not Pro Line, Pro Set Platinum right there. Again, hopefully career information coming up, but this was back in, man, I loved the Seahawks uniforms back in the day. The neon highlighter ones they have now, stop that. Stop that. Those are not good and should not exist. Thank you, Mr. Porter. Really appreciate it. Now, this one, and actually this one came with a note. After a 24-day turnaround, 1 of 1 for free. Address somewhere there, including the note. But we have on the Topps Chrome Tennis, which looks absolutely amazing, Kristy Pigeon. And on the back here, as you can see, she is part of the Original Nine. And the Original Nine, the pioneering group that took a stand for equal rights in tennis by starting its own tour in 1970. After winning the U.S. and Wimbledon junior titles, the left-hander went on to win the Women's Welsh Open and the Eastern Grass Court Championship. Attended Mills College and the University of California, Berkeley, earned a BA in biology and art in 1973. That's an interesting combination. And then she actually sent me a note. "Hi, Zach. Thank you for your interest in women's tennis. I am honored to be included in your card collection. Best, Kristy." And that makes it even cooler when they take the time to do something like that. I know Three Good Nerds does a lot of the Q&As with the celebrities when they answer the questions, and I really need to do that. So, Miss Pigeon, thank you so much. An absolute tennis legend. Next, after 35 days, coming back on the 18th, 1 of 1 for free, we have another Seahawk in the uniforms, but a guy that I always have been a huge fan of. As you can see there, he inscribed it, Hall of Fame 2014, Walter Jones. One of the best linemen, I would venture one of the best linemen that of the era and that the Seahawks ever saw. That dude could play some football. And again, stuff up there, 180 games. He's on all the Seattle anniversary teams. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The dude was a stud, and he was fun to watch play. So, Mr. Jones, thank you so much. Now we come to the weird one. Well, one of the weird ones. That's how it came back. And FYI, that's where the stamp would have been, but it came back anyway. I did check, and the cards were just fine since I sent 2 of them. After a 25-day turnaround, 2 of 2 for free. We're going back to the early part of my childhood. Mark Bruener for the Steelers. He was the second tight end of note that I remember from the Steelers. It was him and Big Bird Eric Green. And then after, Bruener gave way to Heath Miller. There was some great players the Steelers had, and now gave way to Pat Freiermuth. But my thoughts on the shenanigans that the Steelers are pulling will be up for talk in another time, because the regular season ended, and it wasn't pretty, folks. The standard is the standard, and it's 10 years overdue for a rehaul, or 10 years overdue for a complete overhaul. And I'm talking the entirety of the coaching staff, from Mike Tomlin down to the groundskeepers. Fire them all, cleanse the house. And you know what? I have to say, considering how he ended up playing, very mediocre, time to send Russell Wilson with them. If Russell Wilson is viewed as the Steelers quarterback of the future, I'm done. Because he's 35 years old and washed. Nice guy, love him to death. 6-5, not very good. Washed. Next up, another weird one, because this one came back completely unsealed. After a 65-day turnaround, I'm going to put it there, but again, it's care of the New Jersey Devils, a team that's weirdly been signing a lot lately, and go current NHL players. We got Jesper Bratt on the upper deck. Thank you so much. And again, there's pro football, or football, baseball, basketball. Don't waste your time. Do not send to a current player. Do not. They will not sign. You might get the occasional one, but 98 out of 100, you're never going to see again. There's way too much money being thrown around between Topps, Fanatics, Upper Deck, Panini, and all that for these players to, lower themselves, it seems, to signing for free for the people that actually make them relevant. But hockey, still going, and some decent names. Another hockey player actually is in this stack. So, Mr. Bratt, thank you so much. Career info right there. Now we've got the old one. After 353 days, that's 6 years, 5 months, and 8 days. It was ever so long ago. And this is like an envelope I haven't used since that time period. But 1 of 1 for free, coming back on, and you can see it's a little faded because it was so long ago I didn't really... This was sent before I joined YouTube, so I didn't really understand how to prep the high-gloss cards. But we have, out of the University of Arkansas, shout out to Adam's Card Closet, we have James Rouse on the Upper Deck Conference Greats. I like this set, and they do, and as you can see here, as this stuff is still staying on there, there's several different ones. This one is copper. There's one that's a much darker, like a darker, richer looking metal color, like almost orangey. I think that one's pewter. And then the base one of these is just the standard silver. But very cool cards. I think they only did them in 2014, maybe another year. But a really cool set, and I really like it. So, Mr. Rouse, thank you so much. We're getting near the end. Promise. 12-day turnaround. Now, this is when the dates became official. Actually, the last one, because I was back in Rochester. After 12 days on the 26th, coming back, 2 of 2, we have Lee Johnson, the punter for the Bengals. Really nice-looking signature, I might add. On the Super Bowl Superman and the 90 Fleer. Do love me. I do love me 90 Fleer. That junk wax era, we've all said it before, was just really good. So many cards, but really good for TTMing. Mr. Johnson, thank you so much, and I remember him a lot because he was with the Bengals. Moving along, this one coming from Oil Collector. Shout out Oil Collector. After 40 days, 1 of 1 for free, coming back on the 27th. Address there. It's a Stadium Club, and we all love Stadium Club. Moe Mantha. Not only is it Stadium Club, but it is Mustache Stadium Club as well. I absolutely love Stadium Club. That is one of the things that I wish would still be a thing, that Stadium Club did all the sports, because as good as Stadium Club looks for baseball now, that's how good it looked even back in 91 when they first came out with it, with hockey, basketball, baseball, and football. It's a travesty that it's not still able to be used anymore, but that is the way of the sports card industry, and it's just unfortunate. Penultimate one, take that drink, first drink of 2025. After a 14-day turnaround, 2 of 2 for free. We've got Chris Chandler, and this one goes up front because much like I have an abhorrence for the modern Seahawks highlighter uniforms, I miss the Houston Oilers uniforms. I think everybody does. That powder blue, so good. I know the Titans will wear them as the throwback, but it's like the mullet coming back out in Los Angeles. Like when I was out there, I saw several people with a quote-unquote mullet, but it was one of those, like, somebody had described to somebody what a mullet is, and they just cut hair to look like it. It's so I would say mullet adjacent, much like the throwback Oilers uniforms that they put in from time to time are Oilers adjacent. Wouldn't exactly call it Oilers, but I miss them dearly. And when I showed this on stream, John Burgess actually brought up a point. He signed over his face, which is something a lot of athletes, if you look, tend not to do. Nobody here, I don't think, signed over their face. Nope. That's, well, of course. But you get my point. Like, I know, like, the card itself didn't lend too much to it, but there was a lot of room he could have done that. I'm going to have to go back and see how many people actually did sign over their face at one point. And the final one coming back December the 30th, after 285 days, 1 of 1 for free. This is the other current NHL player because he plays for the Boston Bruins. Focus, there we go. We have Hampus Lindholm, really nice looking signature. And again, down below, but so, like I said, modern hockey, it's not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. But you're going to have a better shot with hockey stuff, and especially some of the bigger names. I believe, once Canada Post is caught up, I actually have a couple TTMs over in Canada land, but once that all gets settled, who knows? Hopefully, there's a lot more. I know Carey Price, I believe Carey Price is still signing. Cale Makar through the Colorado Avalanche, he will sign, but he is 1 per. When he was with the Bruins, I heard rumor that Linus Ullmark signed. I know Jeremy Swayman did. So I sent to Linus Ullmark, and I know he's playing for Ottawa right now. So we'll see once the mail gets straightened out if that comes back, because that would be awesome. Anyway, hopefully this all worked out the way I planned it. I really hope it did. I think it will. I think it did. Let me know what you think down below. And other TTMers, how many, if you know off the top of your head, how many guys have you had sign over their face in a card when they didn't necessarily have to? That is interesting. I'm going to have to look at that. But anyway, that's going to do it for the December TTM recap. Onward to 2025. Hopefully a whole lot more ink. I've got a lot of TTM fuel to send out. And it's going to be good. So thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you like this. Let me know what you think. We will see you next time.